Hi friends, I welcome you all at Crack Grade B. As we all know that you are going to face some descriptive type of question in phase 2 main examination of this RBI Grade B. So I hope you have changed your preparation strategy according to the new syllabus. And in this series, we have started a video lecture series for covering economic and social issues especially for this descriptive type of questions. So today video lecture we are going to cover gender issues in India, and in this video lecture we will see what types of gender issues we can face in India in the question and answer type of format. So our first question for today is, what is gender inequality and what are the main reasons behind the gender inequality in India? It is a very basic type of questions. So first, what is the answer for this question? What is gender inequality? Gender inequality refers to unequal treatment or perception of individual or wholly or partially due to their gender. It arises from the difference in the society constructed gender. If we will talk about the gender inequality in the Indian context, we will see the major difference between a female and a male in India. And this difference is in a very big number at a very ground level. I mean to say, in rural India and in ground level situations, you will feel the major difference between a female and in a male person. Either it may be in education, it may be due to the health facilities or works. So what is the gender inequality refers to? It is the unequal treatment or perceptions of individual or wholly partially due to their gender. Now, what are the main reasons behind the gender inequality in India? It is first is the cultural institutions. What is the cultural institutions and how this cultural institution is going to contribute in gender inequality in India? As we all know that mostly our Indian society are patriarchal in nature, and this patrilineality, it is an inheritance through male descendants and patrilocality, married couples living with or near the husband parents. It is the special case for the women. So after getting marriage, woman has to live with his husband at their house. So this patrilineality is a major bottleneck in the gender equality in India. I mean to say is that whatever cultural institutions we are following since olden days is a major contributor for the gender inequality in India. The second point is the preference for the sons. Cultural ingrained parental preference for sons emanating from their importance as a caregiver for the parents in old age. It is a well-known fact that each and every parent wants a son. Why? Because they consider that this son will be as important as, because it will give the care to the parents when they become old. So this is also a contributing factor for the gender inequality in India. Now, the most important point is the dowry system. So, what is the dowry system? It involves a cash or in kind of payment from the bride's family to the grooms at the time of the marriage. It is a major factor behind the low sex ratio in India, this dowry system, and it also contributing towards the gender inequality in India. The next point is patriarchal mindset. The patriarchal mindset is a social system privilege in which men are the primary authority figures, occupying roles in political leadership, moral authority, control of prosperity and authority over the women and children. As we all know that in most of the families in India, it is a patriarchal family, and who are the main person in the family? Either it may be husband of the wife or it may be the father of any son. If I will draw a tree diagram, you can see that it is a family. So it is headed by either a grandfather, there may be the son of this grandfather, then this is the patriarchal mindset which we are following in our Indian social system, and it is also contributing towards the gender inequality in India. The main reason behind the gender inequality in India can also be called due to the poverty and the lack of education. Extreme poverty and lack of education are also some of the reasons for women's low status in society, and the lack of education drives countless women to work in low-paying domestic services. As we all know that the lots of women in India are working as a housewife. And what is the meaning of this housewife here? They are working in the home without any payment. When we will see the data regarding the poverty and education, we will see the women are far behind than the men in poverty and in education, and we can add a part also in health. So these all are the various reasons which can contribute towards the gender inequality in India. It may be cultural institutions, preference for sons, dowry systems, patriarchal mindsets, and poverty and lack of education. So I think you have understood what is gender equality in India and what are the main reasons behind the gender inequality in India. Now, what are the various legal provisions given in India towards the gender equality? In previous slides, we are able to understand that what is the difference between a gender equality and inequality. In this question, we have to write what are the legal provisions in constitutions of India given for the gender inequality. There are many provisions given in legal system of India to counter the gender inequality. Some of them are Article 14 and Article 15. This article envisions for the equality to women, and if you have heard about this 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments, it provides 33% of reservation for women in panchayati elections. In my previous question, I have told you that at grassroots level, it means in rural India, there is much difference between a man and a woman. So this 33% of reservation is going to counter the gender inequality at grassroots level at rural India. There are many provisions given for gender equality. Some of them are Article 14, Article 15, 16, Article 39A, Article 39C, 42 of the DPSP, and Part 4 guide the India governance shall ensure gender equality in law policy. In Article 51A, it is a fundamental duty. It is in this article the citizen of the country to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of the woman. Why I am talking about the woman in this video? Because the major difference of the major reason of gender inequality in India is the major difference between a woman and a man. So what this Article 51 says, that it will renounce the practices that are derogatory to the dignity of the woman, and to promote harmony and the spirit of the common brotherhood and amongst all people of the India. So there are some legal provisions given India towards the gender equality. We will see in detail what our preamble says. It says socialism, equal distribution of opportunities and resources, social justice, and assuring the dignity of the individual. So it is also talking about the gender equality. Article 14, equality before law and equal protection of the laws. There is no difference between men and women when it's come to the law. It's come to the equality before law. Article 15 talk about the prohibition of the discrimination on the ground of the sex. Article 15 empowering states to make special provision for women and children. Article 16 to equality of opportunity in matter of public employment, prohibition of discrimination on the ground of the sex. Now in DPSP, Article 38 says that state to secure a social order to the promotion of the welfare of the people with social justice and equal opportunities. Article 39A says secure men and women equally the right to an adequate means of livelihood. Article 39A says equal justice and free legal aid without any discrimination between men and women. And Article 42 says just and human condition for work, and it also talks about the maternity leave relief. On the basis of this Article 42, Government of India has introduced the Maternity Benefit Act 1961. So these are some legal provisions given for social equality in India. There are some legal provisions. Equal Remuneration Act 1973 talk about the equal remuneration to men and women for same work and similar nature of work without any discrimination. The Maternity Benefit Act, it is a very well-known act. It also gives some relief to the women which are working in any establishment, in any organization. The Sexual Harassment of the Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013. It has been also enacted, which cover all women irrespective of their age or employment status, protecting them against sexual harassment at workplace in public and private sector. So this is a legal provision for preventing prohibition of sexual harassment of women at workplace. Section 14 of the Hindu Succession Act 1956 make absolute owner of their properties. The act was amended in 2005 to give equal rights to women regarding the inheritance of the family property. What is the meaning of this? A woman is eligible to take her parts in his property from his father. So it is also contributing towards gender equality in India. Now, it is a most important question for today. We all know that recently in December, Human Development Report was introduced in India. So this question is based upon the Human Development Report, because this report talks about the Gender Development Index, it talks about the Gender Inequality Index. So what is the progress of India towards gender development according to the Human Development Report? So you have to answer your questions according to this report. So Gender Development Index, actually the United Nations Development also calculate its as a part of Human Development Report, the Gender Development Index. So in this Gender Development Index, we will see what is the position of India. India has scored 0.820 in this Gender Development Index. And what about what is the position of the females and males in this report? Females are standing at 0.573 scores and males are standing at 0.699 of a score. So this score is itself showing a wide contrast. So what is a major point to be noted from this report is that India is behind the Bangladesh with its GDI value 0.904. What is the value of the India? It is 0.820, and what is the value of the Bangladesh? It is 0.904. Somehow we are able to manage, we are ahead of Pakistan. The average GDI for the South Asian region is stood at 0.824. And it's come in the medium category of HDI countries. So we can say that these values are not favorable for India because there is a gap between a female and a male. And what about this Gender Inequality Index? The report also calculates this Gender Inequality Index. It highlights gender-based inequalities in a country. They take these value on these three measures. It is economic activity, reproductive health and empowerment. So GI value of the country is 0.488. It is very disappointing, which made it rank at the 133rd place out of the 162 nations. India is a developing country. India's GDP is going very fast, but why we are not forwarding in Gender Inequality Index? There are some reasons given. We can say that in economic activity measure, labor market participation for Indian males are 76.1% and it is for female it is 20.5%. Huge difference. The index measures reproductive health using maternal mortality ratio and adolescent birth rate, which were at 133 deaths per 1 lakh live births and 33.2 birth for per 1000 women respectively. So it is also very high. In economic activity, we are far behind. In reproductive health, we are also lagging. And what about the empowerment? For empowerment, the index measures the percentage of female seats in parliament, which is at 13.5%. In previous Lok Sabha election, it was around 11.5%. Some of the African countries are far away from in this category of female seats in parliament, just like Ghana. Ghana has more women in their parliament as compared to the India. So this is also the concern for India, and it is also contributing towards gender equality in India. So we can say that this report has highlighted some important points, and in India we have to think about it if we want to improve our position in this gender development and in gender equality index. So it was the 3 questions from economic and social issues for RBI grade B phase exam, and these are some descriptive types of questions. In next video we will talk some another issue related to economic and social conditions of India. सो टिल देन हैप्पी लर्निंग एंड पढ़ते रहिए, मेहनत करते रहिए।